Welcome, Pump Track fans of the world. Thank you for joining us live here from Cairns, Australia for the Crankworx Cairns Pump Track Challenge. Hey, Cairns, how are we feeling out here tonight? You guys ready for some pump track racing? Yeah! The energy is high here. We are going to be joining up our racing action at the round of 8 here. It's been a long day of racing for these racers. A lot of them also raced earlier today in the Full Tilt event. I'm your host, Cam McCall, alongside Alan Cook, and we're excited to have this heating up out here. We've got our Pump Track Series overall at play. We have our King and Queen of Crankworx standings at play, and we got some big names on the start list.
Yeah, Jim, just coming off the heels of Full Tilt, we've already seen some shuffling in the overall King and Queen standings, and it's all gonna come down to tonight. The only thing I can think about that would make head-to-head competition better is under the perfect warm weather, under the lights. It's gonna be a fantastic night.
Pump Track is always fun because you have those disruptors. Of course, Crankworx Festival, we got all these different mountain bike disciplines, but the Pump Track brings out the BMX racers who end up just really throwing a wrench in the gears of the Crankworx fixture riders, the riders who we consider mountain bikers after they've been on the Crankworx World Tour for a couple years. We've got some disruptors out here we're taking a look at.
Yeah, definitely. Josh Jolly, Disruptor, just happened a little bit earlier today, taking the win in full tilt, the first ever full tilt. Unbelievable performance. We saw him practicing, and some of those qualifying runs, the kid is fast.
I believe Josh Jolly might even be the #1 qualifier.
Yeah, he absolutely is. It was a bit of a back and forth between him and Gilchrist in qualifying. Josh's first run put him in first place, and then when Gilchrist came through, he bumped up into first, and then when second runs and they combined those times from the overall, Josh was the winner, so it's going to be a heck of a night.
And for the women's category, we have Sabina Kosarkova, who's been doing nothing but disrupting all of these different disciplines. Of course, she started out Christchurch, New Zealand by taking the win in pump track. She was third in the pump track in Rotorua, and then she won full tilt. But we're looking at those lists of riders that we're talking about, we're referring to as mountain bikers. A lot of them came from BMX as well. What about Caroline Buchanan?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Caroline Buchanan, one of the best all-around riders, BMX world champion. She's been the queen of Crankworx, you know, all the different accolades that she's created. But out here, this is kind of her, you know, kind of her sweet spot, which she didn't perform like we expected in Rotorua. So expect to see her really push it tonight under a home crowd.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. We just mentioned Sabina Kosarkova. She won full tilt. I'd say we might as well take this opportunity and take a look back just a few hours ago, what went down in the inaugural Crankworx Full Tilt event. If you didn't join us for that broadcast, it's a 3-rider, same course, head-to-head, elbows out racing format, Alan.
Yeah, probably one of the 3 that are contending for that queen, all on the course, racing at the same time, on the same track, just really fighting for those fast lines. And watch right here, Caroline shows you it's never over till it's over. Jordy coming up a little short on that step up, and Caroline was able to sneak around the outside for second place right there, but it was all Sabina Kosarkova.
And for the men, it's all about this battle that we just see play out time and time again between Jackson Fruit and Ryan Gilchrist. I mean, just yesterday in the downhill, they were 1 and 2 with Jackson Fruit taking the win and the #1 qualifier, Ryan Gilchrist taking second place. In Rotorua, New Zealand stopped #1 of the World Tour. They each had a win. Gillian Slalom, Frew in pump track, and then it's just more of the same here. If you look at the King standings for this 2025 season, they're 1 and 2 there as well.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say for tonight, the pressure's on Gilly a little bit. Yeah, he's got them world champ stripes and that bright white kit, but he did not come through the way he wanted to. Unfortunately, his day came to a little bit of a confusing end there for him with a flat tire in the rock garden. He had the lead, he was comfortable, but just didn't see that coming.
We talk a lot about 1 and 2s between Gilly and Frew, but we're on this topic of disruptors. #1 finisher in full tilt, neither of those guys, Josh Jolly, who was out here today looking to just throw the wrench in the gears of these Crankworx riders once again. Here's a look back at that final run for the men.
Yeah, Josh Jolly just really coming out of that gate. Really surprised me with his ability to get out of that gate. Obviously, a BMXer, no stranger to that cadence. And then right here, you see Jackson Frew pulling away in second place there. Almost coming up. Watch how long they go off these jumps, Cam. Landing completely flat, leaving nothing on the course.
I mean, at the beginning of the day, we had no idea what to expect, and now we kind of do, and we're imagining what the future could be for that discipline. You know, maybe some more corners at the bottom, more opportunities for passing. It was a fun event to watch, and I hope we end up doing it again.
Yeah, I mean, Disruptor today, Crankworx Specialist tomorrow. That's kind of what we've seen happen, so I'm excited to see what's going to happen for Josh.
For sure. I'm excited to see what happens in our overall standings for pump track. We have an overall championship basically that we're covering throughout this whole Crankworx World Tour. It started out at the Summer Series event, Christchurch, and then of course, Rotorua in New Zealand just 2 months ago. And we've got this event plus 2 more, Silver Star in BC, and then the finals for the Crankworx World Tour in Whistler. And at this point, that's stop #3 for the pump track overall. We're gonna take a look at our series standings right now. For the men, you got that rider at the top right there who's not gonna be here today, so we know things are gonna shake up, Alan.
Yeah, without Tohoto, Enrique Penny, and only a few points separating them, you know that #1 spot is up for grabs. Ryan Gilchrist, the closest one there. Tyler Waite, another rider who's not here today. So Jackson Fruit is going to be bumping up that list as well.
So for the women, the pump track overall standings, we're getting a look at that right now. We got Sean Ahern there, who took the win in downhill. I have a feeling that might be the downhill overall series standings right now. For the women, Sabina Kosarkova, obviously 3rd place at the pump track in New Zealand, #1 at Christchurch. Sabina has the overall lead right now with Jordy Scott in 2nd, and and then Laura Smolders in third. So we got Sabina and Jordy in our field out here today. So they're gonna be battling it out for that top spot in the pump track overall standings now at this, you know, halfway point of the World Tour Series.
Yeah, definitely.
So this destination location for tourism, obviously so much to do. Bungee jumping is one of them. A lot of the riders showing up early, not only to just acclimate to the weather and the time zone, but to have a little bit of fun out here. You might as well. There's always been so much to do in this area, and there's gonna be so much more as well with that recent trail expansion that we learned about this morning.
Yeah, they're gonna triple the amount of trails here in the bike park, which is unbelievable. The government's getting behind it. They're making it all happen. It's so cool to see that Crankworx is planting those seeds in places, and it's really making a difference.
No, it's going to be exciting. They're hoping to have all those trails finished and ready to rip by 2028. Obviously, more trails will be available the next few summers. So if you're looking for your next destination location for mountain biking, plus all the other amazing tourism things you can do out here, check out Cairns, Australia. Thanks for joining us right now. This is the Crankworx Cairns Pump Track Challenge, joining up in the round of 8 for the men, round of 8 for the women, with all those points up for grabs that we just mentioned, but also there's something up for grabs for you as well, and everybody out here. You can't just only win this if you're watching the broadcast. If you got an Instagram account, you can win this package here, prize package from Darko, Australia's biggest mountain bike gear company, and they're just going global. They're going to give you an opportunity to win some products that aren't even available yet. They've got some stuff that's not launching until June 18th. The Gravity knee pad, the Gravity chest protector, also an organic white cotton t-shirt, and some prototype, well not prototype, but unreleased jorts, riding jorts. So you got jorts in there, a t-shirt in there, some knee pads, and a chest protector. The way you can win this, the way you can enter, is go follow at Crankworx, follow at Darko Clothing. Go check out the post that Crankworx did where you see all those items up on a photo. Like that post, go into the comments, tag a friend or an enemy, it doesn't really matter, just tag somebody, your riding buddy or your riding enemy, and then you're entered to win. We'll announce before the end of the broadcast who wins this care package. We'll ship it out to you.
Yeah, such a cool opportunity. Win products that aren't even released yet. That's amazing.
So that's the format for your competition that you have an opportunity to win. Let's dip into the competition format for the Pump Track Challenge, Alan. I'll start with the first one. This is the only discipline where you do not have a chain.
Yeah, no chain, 26-inch wheels minimum, so you are on a mountain bike. Qualifying is a time trial format. Both riders had an option to take a run on both sides of the course, combine those times, set them up in the top 16 and top 16 men and women in the brackets.
We basically just chop the field in half every step of the way until we boil down to our final matchups, which will be the gold medal matchup and the bronze medal matchup.
Yeah,
we're about ready to drop this round of 8 bracket here.
Yeah, once we get into those brackets, they're no longer racing against time, they're racing against each other. So when they go through the finish line, the time will start, and when they go through the finish line the second rounder, the time stops. Both runs, that's the combined time that's gonna either make them move on or they're gonna get bumped out.
It's a classic event. You know the format. You came to the right place. This is the Crankworx Cairns Pump Track Challenge, and it starts right now.
So bad, it's a party round here. All I see is gold, get us through my cardies round here. Always on top for the money, never tardy round here. Now I'm on top and they love me, keep some shawties round here. And we go pop us some bubbly, cause we going high, yeah.
Where in the world are we? Cairns, Australia, far north Queensland. Take a look at the map right here. If you're planning your next mountain bike vacation, put this on your radar. It's gonna be a whole lot more trails here in the coming years. This is the 4th time we've shown up back here to Cairns for a Crankworx festival, and it's one of 3 World Tour stops for the 2025 season. And this kind of marks our halfway point through this 2025 World Tour as we take a peek up on our jumbo screen right now at our quarterfinals matchups for the women.
Yeah, it's so exciting starting with these quarterfinals. Every race is like a final. These racers are so fast and so close right there. You see the #1 qualifier, Kosakorva. #2 is Caroline Buchanan. So see if they will end up making their way to each other in the gold medal rounds.
Well, Cairns, take a look at this. Run #1 of our broadcast competition out here, the round of 8 for the women. Looking up there, lookers left, Sabina Kosakorva wearing those rainbow stripes. She's the world champion in the discipline of pump track. And Anais Prince.
Watch the gate.
Here we go.
And you see those hops right there. That's the sign, no chain, trying to create as much momentum as they can out of nothing. Sabina rockets out of the gate, doing exactly what she did to qualify fastest. These turns are quite long. The riders are having to create their own arcs in these turns, creating more pump as they go around.
There we go, Sabina flying those rainbow stripes right there, signifying she's the world champion in this discipline, putting that max differential on Prince there of 1.5.
Yeah, you want to talk about all-around rider. She won that world championships on a BMX bike on a paved pump track.
I love the fact that she's got the mountain bike bug, and her performance in full tilt is only going to increase her enthusiasm for coming out to these Crankworx festivals. We got heat #2 in the gate now. Eleni Turkovic and Sasha Mills. Sasha Mills taking 4th place earlier today in full tilt.
Yeah, these riders are going to be super close. #4 and #5 qualifiers right here. You see a couple of different starting positions right there. It looks like Sasha gets a slight advantage coming out of the start. No, Eleni does get that advantage. You see it goes green right there for the whole shot, but it looks like Sasha is starting to pull away right here coming out of the final turn. Let's see what they got up and over the step up.
Sasha Mills through the line first with an advantage of 0.35. We'll get them back up to the top of the course, switch sides. The rider with the fastest combined time will move in to the round of 4.
Yeah, all these riders are going to get 2 chances at this track. Like we said, it's that combined differential.
Jordy Scott, so great to have her back in the field here. It's not been an easy road for Ellen.
Yeah, no, started out with a shoulder injury a couple of years ago in Rotorua. Ended up having to refocus and going back to college, finishing that up. Came back with an ankle injury, but she is looking fit and ready to go.
Jordy Scott sitting #1 in the Queen standings right now, but just by 22 points over Sabina Kosakorva. And we have both of those riders in the field out here. Today, we just saw Sabina advance out of her heat. Here we go, Cassie Voicy and Jordy Scott on course.
Jordy Scott's average finish in this event, 2nd place since 2022. Getting a little offline right there. Good recovery out of Jordy. Both riders extremely tight right there. Cassie going only about a bike length behind right there, and you see how that compounds. One little mistake and the momentum is lost. 1 foot mistake on one jump is 8 feet at the end.
Jordy Scott through the line first with the advantage of 0.69. Jordy already stood on a podium today. She was 3rd place in full tilt. As we take a peek at the next heat loading up in the gate, this looks like Martha Gill and Caroline Buchanan.
Martha Gill, the reigning queen of Crankworx, really focusing on the Lucid Gravity program. If you haven't checked that out on the socials, she's doing some cool things for riders, got her own team out here, and they're focused on Crankworx.
I mean, to be the reigning queen of Crankworx and to put together a Crankworx focused team. Also, she's doing tons of media for the team. She's pulling triple duty out here, still racing, defending that crown. But alongside of her is a former queen of Crankworx, Caroline Buchanan, who's looking for some points out here today. Caroline, the #2 qualifier.
Yeah, Caroline was looking extremely smooth in qualifying. Doesn't get the whole shot right there. Martha does, but Caroline doing what she does so well. Only enough. You don't need to override. You need to build through the night and get just enough. You don't want to override it. And look at that.
So Caroline Buchanan through the line fastest. It's going to be a big margin, 1.2. Alan, the first thing we noticed when we showed up to our spot right here, right in the middle of the infield alongside the course, is there's a lot more lips on this course than I believe we had last year. A lot of the takeoffs are a little bit rolled out. We're seeing a lot of riders get creative with their gap to manuals and just kind of manual sequences throughout this course.
Yeah, the Flux Trail crew has these ramps quite peaky, but that gives you also the opportunity to get more momentum. The steeper they are, if you can catch them, makes it more technical, but makes it more rewarding, and that's why we see these riders going so much faster.
But you see them come into some of these lips too fast at that high speed. It's hard to stay low enough to be able to actually touch down the landing. We even saw Ryan Gilchrist in one of his seeding runs, one of his preliminary runs, round of 16, actually cased incredibly hard on a triple, but able to kind of push through, generate speed, and make it out of that bracket. But for a second there, I thought we were gonna lose one of our biggest name riders, our reigning king of Crankworx. Taking a look right now on the screen, the riders who took the advantage out of run number 1 in these quarterfinals.
Yeah, it's playing to the script so far, but it is not over. All these riders are headed back up to the top of the hill to take their second runs.
Well, second runs in the quarterfinals for the men and women coming up shortly. Don't go away. All right, men loaded back up into the gate right now. Look at this. Is that Josh Jolly?
Oh, that's our boy Sam Blankensop on the other side. I can tell you that.
This will be a good one right here. We've been following this story of Josh Jolly all day. We learned a little bit about him earlier. He's the junior BMX world champion. Turns out no big deal. He's got a Crankworx gold medal already from earlier today. He would love to take another one. You see that number 1 next to his name? Yeah, that's not a random draw out of the hat. That was earned. Josh Jolly, number 1 qualifier, going up against the legend Sam Blankensop, number 8 qualifier.
I love seeing the intensity in Josh's face right now.
Riders ready, watch the
Got
gate.
that foot down starting method. Pops out of the gate right there. Both riders super close. Looks like Blankensop with a slight advantage down the roll-in. But Josh Jolly, this is where his BMX skill is going to come into play on these rollers. Just pumping everything for what it's got right there. Triple pump down, across the finish line. 0.78 over Sam Blankensop.
Just a river. That was a good run for me, but you just freaking
See Josh's foot on the start there. He's got his right foot all the way down. We saw Bensink, I think, kind of pioneer that move. I think the idea is they get their center of gravity a little bit lower and get a little bit more momentum on that push off. It wasn't able to get him the whole shot on there, but the whole shot wasn't enough for Sam Blankensop because Josh Jolly is on fire out here.
Yeah, look out for Josh Jolly. He tasted blood earlier today and he's like, this mountain bike thing, I kind of like this. This is a day for a BMX crossover though, to have the 3-person same course race earlier in the day and then pump track, the 2 events that are most catered to a BMX rider all in one day. This makes a BMX racer salivate right here. All right, next to the gate here, Niels Bensink and Bas van Steenbergen, 2 riders who've been racing together their entire lives. First on BMX back in the day when they were kids, growing up in the Netherlands, and now full mountain bike careers racing together on the Crankworx World Tour. Number 4 qualifier there, Bas van Steenbergen, and Bensink, number 5 qualifier. So expect this to be a tight matchup.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen this matchup for medals on more than one occasion.
Riders ready, watch
Let's
the
see
gate.
who's got it tonight. Gate comes down. Looks like Bensink with a slight advantage maybe on that gate. We didn't see the time, but geez, did you see Baz come out of that back turn? Just creating momentum out of nothing, but Bensink too strong. Manualing up and over that final obstacle to extend his lead by about a foot.
Come on, that is such a tight gap. 0.1 between these 2 riders, the advantage in favor of Niels Bensink.
Next round coming up, Jackson Frew and Jace Cunning. Jackson, our third place qualifier today. Yesterday's winner of the downhill.
Jackson Frew, number 3 qualifier out here at Pump Track today.
Riders ready.
Jace Cunning, no stranger to this pump track. He's done very well here, coming from BMX, competing straight against mountain bike. But right now, it looks like mountain bike has the horsepower and the rhythm that's needed. But what's it going to be as they come out of this turn? Riders are nearly side by side. Jackson Frew with a slight advantage, but where did that come from? Jace Cunning was able to triple manual up and over.
Look at that, after 2 runs, only 0.05 separating these 2 riders. I'm looking forward to these replays, Alan, to figure out where the advantage was made. This was such an even race.
Yeah, the light didn't even turn on. I think they were dead even off of the start. And right here you can see Jackson with a slight advantage coming into the first turn, but Jace just puts the power down and uses that BMX skill up and over into this final turn. And let's see what he does with that momentum. Jackson comes up, now he's looking really smooth right there. I think Jace just outpowered him slightly right there. Up and over and pushes out, extends all the way across the line. Almost nothing in it. 0.05 is faster than a blink of an eye, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what it comes down to right there. It can be 0.05 that separates you from those points you need to move yourself up the rankings. In both of these battles that we're talking about and following so closely out here, both the Crankworx Pump Track overall standings and the King of Crankworx overall standings. Speaking of King of Crankworx, reigning king loaded up into the gate right now. Ryan Gilchrist going up against Cobby. Tyson Cobby, the number 10 qualifier.
Okay, riders, random start.
Cobby also starting with that foot down method. See how it works for him out of the gate.
Look at that snap out of Gilly.
Gilchrist so smooth out of the start. He's such a smooth operator. You don't really see what or how he does it, but he comes out slamming, and it looks like Tyson was catching up right there, but unfortunately came off rhythm, missed his pump, and we call that an anti-pump.
Yeah, Tyson Cobb basically casing this jump that we're standing right next to here.
Here we got the replay on the start right there. We see Gilchrist just rocketing out. It wasn't necessarily when the gate dropped he took off, but the power that he laid down on that start hill. You could see him just creep right in front. And that's where Toby came out of rhythm right there, catching the face of that jump and not the backside, getting that anti-pump. And there's no time to make up once you're in on this course.
There we go, we got Jolly over Bensink. Here's a look at our women's brackets right now. Kosarkova leading the charge over Prince. Mills leading the charge over Turkovic. Jordy Scott with the advantage of 0.69 over Cassie Voicey. And one of the biggest gaps we've seen today, Caroline Buchanan putting a 1.2 on Martha Gill. First heat loading up into the gate right now. Kosarkova against Prince. Oh, this is where we had that 1.5 right here. So Kosarkova basically just needs a smooth run to advance into the semifinals and give herself an opportunity for a 2-podium day.
Yeah, Sabina can't lay up right here. She needs to keep her momentum going forward.
Riders, random start.
You know, the moisture might be coming out of the ground a little bit.
Ready,
You never know what's going to be going on, so you don't want to lay up. You want to build on every run right here, and I think she's going to do exactly that. Absolutely rocketing around that turn, hitting that pump perfectly around the berm. Catching all the backsides, not leaving any momentum on the track. Sabina's locked in.
I mean, it's a long day of racing. It's good to see her still as locked in now as we saw her bright and early in the morning during full tilt.
She's just a young pup. I think she's got plenty of energy.
Considering she's also pulling double duty, finishing up her college studies and traveling the world racing bikes.
Yeah, I thought it was funny the enthusiasm that she had when she was talking about college versus when she was in Christchurch earlier this year versus here today when she's winning races. Look at that, just absolutely perfect, extending all the way.
Hey there, Sabina, how you doing? Hey, I got a question for you. This is a long day of racing for you. How do you pace yourself and make sure you still have the energy for the final rounds out here? You're working your way through the field.
Hello everyone, I'm a bit tired. I'm not used to race all day long, so maybe you should get used to it, but yeah, having fun.
Well, the #1 qualifier, obviously fun equates to fast. So good job so far today and good luck moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Always got a big smile, I love that. She's always having fun.
She's always doing well, it's fun.
It's always fun to do good, that is true. Feel the party?
I feel the party.
Feel it?
Pump track's always a party. Out here under the lights. So Sasha Mills, we saw her earlier take 4th in full tilt. Here's the tire setup she's choosing for pump track.
Yeah, she's got 50 PSI front and rear. That might sound like a lot to some of you mountain bikers out there, but that is to get all of that maximum momentum and the lowest rolling resistance on this Cairns track.
All about speed out here. Unlike all the other disciplines, you don't have any flat corners. You don't need those big knobs. It's just all about the decrease of resistance, able to carry that speed. We got big oververt berms on all these corners.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
0.35 deficit to Eleni. See what she can do right here. Looked like she had the whole shot on Sasha, so she's gonna have to really clean it up. She wants to be able to bring this home and move on.
So Sasha with the advantage of 0.35. Oh, Eleni catching up. That will not be enough for Eleni. Sasha Mills playing good defense there and advancing out of this matchup into the semifinals.
Combined differential of 0.4 right there. Super tight racing as we move in these brackets. Cassie Voicey and Jordy Scott up next. Jordy with the advantage of 0.699. So it's gonna take a good run out of Cassie.
Riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Here we go, Jordy Scott with the advantage of 0.69 over Cassie Voicey.
Jordy Scott getting that whole shot right there. Just building her day smoothly, not overriding it, not making any mistakes, keeping your competitor out of the corner of your eye, just behind you. That is exactly what she does. Jordy is so good at these races. You can see the skill and the planning and how it all comes out. Just really being able to unleash when she needs to.
Jordy Scott securing her spot into the round of 4.
I've noticed a couple of different techniques where, people out of the gate, not only the foot up, foot down, but there's the aggressive attempt where you see people really make a really aggressive move out of the gate, trying to hop and get all this momentum. And then you see some people just kind of slow play it. I can't really tell what is faster, but Jordy has a really deceiving start. You keep watching as that develops throughout the night.
So Jordy, you're a Crankworx veteran at this point right here. We just asked the same question to Sabina. A 2-event day for you. You took 3rd in full tilt. How do you pace yourself in such a busy day?
Oh, it's hard. Just drinking as much fluids as I can and eating a bunch of food and trying to survive. So it's been a long day, but I think we're all trying our best to have a good time and keep it on track.
Yeah, it looks like you're having fun. We're noticing these are kick your lips this year, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. I've kind of been watching some of the faster runs, and I saw some of the girls getting away with manualing them, so gave that a go that time. I think I could dial it in.
It looks like you're dialing it in. Well, congrats on the bronze earlier today, and we're going to be here rooting for you the rest of the race out here in Pump Track. Go
Thanks,
get 'em.
guys.
And It's so cool to hear. She's watching the other racers, seeing what their lines are, how they're gaining advantages on her times, and adapting as she goes on. That's what makes her so dangerous.
Yeah, that's the veteran mindset right there. This is not her first rodeo, and she knows how to strategize accordingly. Yeah, speaking of not your first rodeo, we got a couple queens up there. The reigning queen, Martha Gill, and then, of course, former queen, Caroline Buchanan.
Caroline has her pace tires all the way up to 80 PSI, so a little bit more knob, a micro knob on that tire, but more PSI to cut down on that rolling resistance.
Caroline with a big advantage here, 1.2. Looking for a smooth run here, able to
Okay, riders, random start.
make it into that next round. Let's see what happens.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Both of these riders have won this event. Let's see what it's gonna be. It's gonna have to be a heck of a run out of Martha right here. Will she be able to make up that time? I don't think so, because Caroline is looking really, really smooth over there.
Yeah. Considering Caroline's sitting on that 1.2 second advantage, she's gonna skate right through this one into the semifinals. Sending Martha Gill out of the competition here, our reigning queen of Crankworx. Congrats to Caroline there. Caroline's gonna go up against Jordy in the semifinals, and we're gonna have Sabina Kostarkova going up against Mills. Our 1, 2, 3, and 4 qualifiers all making it into the semifinals.
Yeah, extremely close racing coming from these women. But first, we've got some more men up there.
Well, the stage is set for the women. We're about to find out who our final 4 will be for the men. But let's think about tomorrow as well. Obviously, today's been such a big day with 2 events. We're gonna kick things off bright and squirrely tomorrow. It's all about stop number 2 of the Crankworx Slopestyle World Championship Tour. And we got the big dogs who are absent from New Zealand, who are back here now. David Godzik, Emil Johansson will be squaring up against the youngsters who were carving their path out in stop number 1 with their absence, as well as Tim Bringer, who after 5 second places over the past few years finally took his first win. He will now have the opportunity to try to beat the winningest riders in slopestyle like Emil Johansson.
Also the added motivation of the Triple Crown. Obviously this year 3 events, so Tim Bringer being the only one that still has that opportunity, he's gonna wanna show big tomorrow, so you guys gotta come out and watch that.
Well, let's refresh our memories and see who has the advantages from run number 1 here for the men. Josh Jolly leading out Sam Blankensop by 0.7. We got Ben Sink over Bas van Steenbergen by a tight one, 0.19. Jace Cunning over Jackson Frew, another tight one, 0.05. And then Ryan Gilchrist leading out Tyson Cobby by 0.61. The first heat is loaded into the gate right now. Sam Blankensop and Josh Jolly. Sam Blankensop looking to claw back from that 0.78 deficit.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Josh making that foot down start work for him. Sam Blankensop gonna fight for everything he wants right there. You see him pumping things that aren't even there, trying to create momentum, going in and out of these turns. But Josh Jolly is just too strong out here.
Oh. You can see, final straightaway, Blanky knew it right there. He goes, I'm not making that up right now. Let's just have some fun with this final straightaway and landing a nice manual over that last section. Josh Jolly, man. Is he gonna be able to take the win out here too?
I wouldn't count him out, not 1 second. This is a super tight matchup right here.
Look at this, it's so great to have Bas van Steenbergen back. We missed him, stop number 1 in Rotorua, New Zealand. We caught up with him earlier about how excited he is to be back here in Cairns.
I mean, I love racing. I love coming to Cairns, actually. I think this and Rotorua, I don't know, probably just my favorite stop. I always really enjoy coming here and hanging out with everybody racing. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be fully gone from the World Tour.
Hey, hear that, Cairns? He's fired to be back here. This is his favorite stop of the World Tour. We miss him in New Zealand, but it's great to have him back here in Cairns right now. Bas van Steenbergen loaded up into the gate. He needs to make up 0.19. He trails Niels Bensink. They're both rocking the random goggles. Bass's eyewear company. Love to see it.
Ready, watch the gate.
Anything under a second is definitely possible to make up, and Bas is going to leave everything out on this course right here. Let's see what he can do against Niels Bensink, the former world champion in this very discipline.
Reminder, it's just 0.19. Can Bas do it?
Super close out of both riders, but Bensink doing what the true consummate professional does, keeping Bas just behind him.
It's a lot of pressure right there. You're loaded up in the gate against a former king of Crankworx, Bas van Steenbergen. You know you only have 0.19 of an advantage. Niels Bensink, we can call him a Crankworx veteran at this point. Look at that, just steely focus. Tight matchup here. Jace Cunning with 0.05 of an advantage over Jackson Frew. Jace Cunning qualifying slower than Jackson Frew, but seems to be getting faster throughout the day.
Ready, watch the gate.
Yeah, the Flux Trail crew did an amazing job out here. Both sides of this course are totally equal, so there's no advantage on either side. What can Jace Cunning do? Can he make up that 0.05? It looks like he's got it right there. Jackson Frew back up against the wall.
Look at that. Jace Cunning.
Good job, dude.
Making it happen right there.
The racing is so tight. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if Jackson made a mistake or anything like that. Such clean racing out of these two. Let's look at this replay.
This is the case right here of Jace Cunning pacing himself, saying, you know what, I don't need that fastest qualifying result to be able to beat somebody when the pressure is on. It all comes down to making sure that you peak at the right time in pump tracks.
And Jackson was actually going into that first turn ahead of Jace Cunning. Let's see if there's anything here that we can see happened. Jace just nailing that. He actually came out of the second turn already ahead, so his momentum was just building through this course, and he was able to slingshot right past.
So Jace Cunning knocking out Jackson Frew as we take a peek at the next heat. Loaded up into the gate. Ryan Gilchrist, your number 2 qualifier, going up against Tyson Cobby, who has 0.6 of a second to make up.
Ryan Gilchrist definitely smelling blood in the water, seeing one of his King of Crankworx closest competitors going out and leaving some points on the table tonight.
That is the rider that Gilly needed to go out early as well.
Absolutely, but it is a long night. We got plenty of racing right here. Tyson Cubby's not just gonna hand it over.
Oh, you see Gilly manual that whole triple. It's a quad manual, actually.
That's a thing of art, actually, is what that is.
Was that a streaker with his clothes on?
I think that might have been.
I don't think you're gonna get in trouble. You're probably okay. I mean, you had your clothes on, and you were very respectful when you ran through. I think you're good.
I thought he was part of the staff.
Did you guys see that? That was crazy. What was that all about? It's a clothed streaker. I've never seen that before. Did he steal something first before he stormed through? Nobody's chasing you, bro.
Looking back at these replay and seeing how Gilchrist signed his deal to move on to the next round. Just looking really, really smooth right there. These turns are really, really big in the back.
Here, is this the manual? This is when he went right by us and he quad manualed through there. I'll tell you what, it was way harder than it looked in that video. That was really cool, Gilly. You got some bike skills over there. And what do you think about Jackson not making it through to the semifinals? That's opening up a door for you, my man.
Yeah, I mean, the competition's fierce. It's super gnarly out there, and Jace Cunning's won here before. I had a battle with him in the final last year, so in these rounds, when you get on the TV, anybody could be a winner. So, yeah, it's hard racing, and it's hard but fair, and we're all competing at our highest level, so
yeah. The day's far from over for sure. You talk about Jace Cunning. What about Josh Jolly, that #1 qualifier? How do you feel about that?
My man. Yeah, no, I'm super impressed with him. He's a strong athlete, and coming from Australia, doing Australia proud on the world scene. He's, I reckon, probably the most talented BMX rider in the world right now. So yeah, loving watching him get on the mountain bikes and rip it up.
I gotta say, it'd be crazy to see you two in the finals. We'll have to just wait and see what happens. You're looking great out there, man. Best of luck moving forward.
Cheers, Cam and Alan.
Cheers. That's a big deal having Jackson Frew out right now, both for the Pump Track Series overall and the King of Crankworx overall. Gilly, 197 points ahead here in the King of Crankworx, an opportunity to extend that lead there. Our semifinals is set. It's going to be Josh Jolly going up against Niels Bensink, and then Jace Cunning going up against Ryan Gilchrist. We heard Gilly kind of sizing up Cunning right there. You know, he knows that that's not a walk in the park, but we do have a collision course between that number 1 and number 2 qualifier.
We absolutely do, but Jace is going to do everything he can to not let that happen.
All right, you viewers who are not located at the same exact place that we are, you're somewhere else in the world, and because we have that thing called the internet, which is kind of an amazing piece of technology, we're able to ask you questions, and you can answer those questions. Our first question is, what's more fun to watch? Answer 1 in the comment box for a dark horse knocking out a big name, which we see in this discipline a lot. Answer 2 for a photo finish win, which we also see a lot, or a comeback after a first run loss. That's what my vote would be. Vote 3 for that, but give us your honest opinion, and we'll check back in later once we have a nice little course sample of answers.
I think I'd have to go with photo finish.
We have high-speed cameras and clocks that count all the way to the 1,000th. So, I mean, we have the technology to be able to actually do that. So bring it on. Let's see some tight racing here. Are we going to see a tight matchup out of our number 1 and our number 4 qualifiers? It's Sabina Kozarkova in the gate against Sasha Mills, number 4 qualifier. Also finished 4th in full tilt. Look at this, it's so funny. 1st and 4th, both in seating and finishing for full tilt.
Consistency.
Consistency. But here, Sasha Mills has an opportunity. What was that? Answer number 2, when you see an underdog take out the rider who had the advantage. Will we see that here?
Well, it's going to be a tall order with starts like that out of Sabina. Continuing to build her evening.
Jeez.
Just absolutely powering up and over those obstacles, pushing through those steep lips and getting all of the momentum off those backsides.
Yeah, Sabina staying low over this quad that we're standing right next to is actually so impressive. That's the type of skills you get when you spend your whole life racing BMX. Ooh, a little update to our poll. So far, everybody's thinking a comeback after a first run loss. I like it.
Speaking of runs that could be finals, look who we got up on the gate right here.
What do we have?
We got multiple winners of this very discipline right now. Jordy Scott and Caroline Buchanan.
Oh, I'll watch this. Number 3, number 2 qualifiers. Could be a tight matchup.
Look at the intensity in Caroline's eyes. You can see what this means. You know she wants to do better than she did in Rotorua just a couple of months ago and really keep chasing that queen title.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Long delay there on the horns. Looks like Jordy Scott gets a slight advantage out of the gate, but this is where Caroline Buchanan has been eating up her competition down this back straight. It's almost uphill, so you have to be absolutely perfect. Coming down to the wire, what's it gonna be? Looks like Caroline has a slight advantage. Yes, 0.24.
Emphasis on slight advantage. This is going to be a good race in run number 2. Caroline Buchanan with just about a quarter of a second worth of advantage there and posting the fastest time of the day.
Where I see Caroline winning these events and these rounds is off that start. She's slow playing the start, not overemphasizing on the reaction time, but really focusing on that pump. And that momentum is carrying through all the way to the finish.
She goes, I got another 15 and a half seconds to make up some time out here. So, advantages, let's talk about them. Kozarkova over Mills, Buchanan over Scott. Some results that are following what predictions would be based on seedings results. How about for the men? Where do we sit here? Let's take a look at this. We got Jolly loading up into the gate again.
Bensink, the number 4 qualifier, he has been improving number 5 qualifier, sorry. He has been improving so much throughout Let's see if he can do it against the #1 qualifier, Josh Jolly. Gate drops down, both riders so close. I can't tell you who won the whole shot right there, but Josh Jolly railing around that outside. Bensing accelerating up and over as they come back together. Who has the advantage? Jeez, it looks like Jolly right there. Absolutely zooms right past our standing point.
That was insane. I can't wait to look at the replay and see if it even translates to camera. The fact that he whizzes by us that fast over this jump out of that right-hand berm, he's whipping over this jump, trying to stay low, basically scrubbing. He's going fast enough where he's not only clearing this, but he's got to stay low and scrub, get sideways just to touch that transition.
Yeah, the difference in speed that Josh Jolly has when he goes out of our view, there's only about 100 feet of track, and the speed he comes out back into our view is at least double. The magic he has right here, coming down off this, you see him catching the backside of every obstacle. That is how he's creating that momentum.
Yeah, you have to be going really fast in order to have the opportunity to ride that jump the way he rode it. So Josh Jolly with a half a second over Niels Bensink. Bensink with his work cut out from there. Jolly continues to ride the way he's been riding. Now we have Jace Cunning and Ryan Gilchrist loaded up in the gate for Heat 1 of their semifinal matchup. We're down to 4 in both the women and the men's field here, Alan. And we got that poll result who's showing they love to see the Cinderella stories. Will we get some surprise eliminations here?
Jace is on Gilchrist's radar. Gilchrist knows he's gonna have to lay it down right here, getting a really solid start out of it. Jace Cunning accelerating into this back turn as the riders separate. What can they pull off and come back together, looking exactly next to each other, and we see exactly why. Gilchrist was not sleeping on Jace Cunning, just absolutely powering down the back straight.
Yep, we heard Gilly talking about him when we had him on headset. He says, listen, I got a tough matchup coming here. I'm gonna be going up against Jace Cunning, and Jace delivering there, putting a .26 advantage ahead of Gilly. All right, folks at home who are voting, you say you like to see those come from behind victories. We got the guy who's not usually considered an underdog, Ryan Gilchrist, because he's won so many of these, but he's in position right now where he needs to fight from behind.
Jace has some magic coming out of that first turn. Look at that, his tire's actually under the arc of the jump, staying so low. And there's that pump. He's able to catch that backside when he's fully loaded up, and his body just unloads all of that power, and that translates into momentum all the way across to the finish line.
I think it might have been year 1 here where Jace Cunning took the win, and he was one of those disruptors, one of those riders who came from BMX and just showed everybody what's up out here at Pump Track. Well, the stage is set here. We've got our advantages set in the women's and the men's categories in the semifinals. Stick with us, run number 2 coming up. There we go, look on our big screen of those advantages. Kostarkova over Mills, Buchanan over Scott. Really tight race in Heat 2 there between Caroline and Jordy. Kostarkova with a healthy advantage into this heat. But we got all of you poll voters putting it out into the universe that you like to see some come from behind victories. Sasha Mills looking to make it happen for you.
Yeah, Sabina with a significant advantage over Sasha, but it's so important not to slow play these races. I know we keep talking about it, but she's gonna be going up against either the 2nd or 3rd fastest qualifier in this next round, so she's gonna need to keep the pedal to the metal and build this day.
Sabina's already in the final straightaway here.
That's exactly what she's doing.
Yep. No problem for Sabina Kostarkova as she cruises through the finish line first, eliminating Sasha Mills. your #1 qualifier, still alive and still, there we go, at the top of the leaderboard, posting a faster time than Caroline Buchanan.
Every fast time except for Caroline Buchanan out of the top 5 is Sabina Korskova.
All right, Caroline, bump down into the second fastest time of the day. Let's see what you can do here. Caroline with the advantage, but it's a tight one. Jordy Scott with just a quarter of a second to make up.
Anyone's race right here, so close.
Okay, riders, random start.
You can see the intensity
Ready, watch the gate.
of these 18-second races on these riders' face. Let's see what they got. Jordy gets the advantage out of the start again, but there goes Caroline. She's able to get so much momentum. Just exploding into these backsides, coming around as they come back up. Looks like Jordy and Caroline are side by side, and Caroline able to extend by half a bike length across the finish line.
Caroline Buchanan does it, holds on, and advances out of this semifinal bracket. Jordy Scott, good day of racing out there for her. A lot of racing. Bronze in full tilt, also second in downhill just yesterday. So as Jordy Scott becomes a spectator in this event, we take a look back at the replay of how Caroline Buchanan was able to advance into the next round.
So there's a little known thing when it comes to pumping is there's actually up pump. It's how you air a quarter pipe really, really high. You have good air, good up pump. And I'm actually noticing that is Caroline's advantage. She's pumping the jumps not only on the backsides, which is the logical thing to do, but she's figuring out how to pump up and down and accelerating past these riders.
Caroline, congratulations, rolling through into the gold medal matchup. How's the racing out here today?
It's wild. I mean, I literally feel like I've just come out of a shower. I can't find my hair tie, but here we are. Insane racing. That was literally the final last year. Me and Jordy went head to head. She got me last year. I pipped her this year. So just shows the elevation of the sport's rising. We got the current world champ. And yeah, it's alive racing. The Cairns crowd is just incredible.
Well, it's going to be fun to see who you're joining up with in that gold medal matchup. What do you make of Sabina Korskova?
Oh, I think she's the future of Queen of Crankworx for sure. She's got that all-rounder. If she can dial in the DH, she'll be unstoppable.
It takes one to know one. We're excited to see you in that gold medal matchup and to see what happens. Congrats.
Thanks, guys.
Well, it's set for the women. What's going to happen for the men here? Who's going to move into that gold medal matchup and who will be relegated to the bronze medal round? We got Jolly over Bensink with a half a second advantage. We got Gilly and Cunning out there. Gilly's going to have to come from behind. We're excited to see that. Jolly with the half a second advantage here. They're in the gate. Niels Bensink with some work to do. And the poll results coming through saying you love to see those come from behind victories. But Jolly looks fired up, doesn't he?
Speaking of fire, the intensity of Gilchrist's warm-up back there.
Yeah. Jumping up and down.
Yeah, Jolly's face is telling us all we need to know. You can see the laser focus when he's up there on the gate, but then you can also see how much fun he's having when he comes across that finish line.
Gilly there with a couple warm-up pelvic thrusts.
Nothing in it off the start. Both riders looking side by side. Bensink has that 0.5 deficit. Let's see what he can do. Jolly has been the fastest man all day long. It goes a little long right there. Wasn't quite on point, but he was ahead just enough to be able to make it stick.
Jolly excited when he came through that final straightaway right there, knowing that he had that half second to his advantage, because it did look like he lost a little speed coming out of that final berm, didn't it?
Yeah, well, you see how he laid up a little bit, and then he completely blew it right after he laid up. So that's the thing about this event. You can't lay up. You can't give your competitor an edge in any way, shape, or form. Watch him. He has the lead. He sees that out of the corner of his eye, and right here he shuts down and just styles it a little bit and completely overjumps and almost blows it.
Yeah. Coming into that jump so fast, it'd be easy to overshoot. All right, Josh. I gotta ask you a question, man. Obviously a big day for you, taking the gold in full tilt. Pump track is definitely an event where, you know, we see BMXers do great. How do you compare this to a BMX race?
I mean, it's much the same, but it's definitely completely opposite. I mean, we got no chain, super hard to gain speed, and Yeah, I mean, full tilt was awesome this morning. Super tired this afternoon, but yeah, we're pushing through.
And now, where's your head at? Are you going to be watching this matchup here, seeing who you're going to go up against? Or are you going to stay in your own lane and just focus on your own ride?
I mean, I watch everyone. I'm here for the fun, here for the vibe, cheer on all the boys.
I love it. Yeah, you get the Crankworx Festival thing already. All right, well, let's watch this and see who you're going to be going up against in that gold medal matchup. Congrats.
Thank you.
There we go. Ryan Gilchrist in the gate alongside Jace Cunning, two riders who have won right here on this Crankworx Cairns pump track course. Only one will make it out of this round and secure their spot in that gold medal matchup here tonight. Ryan Gilchrist needs to make up .26. If anybody can do it, it's this guy right here. But Jace Cunning has been so strong, taking that 6th place qualification position and putting himself here with the advantage. Here we go.
Random start. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Both riders with clean starts. Looks like Gilchrist with a slight advantage coming into the back turn. Coming around, let's see, can he be perfect? Can Jace Cunning do what he's been doing all day and have such an unbelievable second half?
Oh!
Looks like Gilchrist has the lead, but is it enough?
He needs .26, he gets .18. Wow, it's not going to be enough. Jace Cunning advances into the gold medal matchup.
A .079 difference when you combine both disadvantages. So Gilly was giving it everything he had right there and almost did it.
I mean, absolutely gave it everything he has. That was the fastest time of the day. He definitely went down swinging. A flawless run for Ryan Gilchrist, but still not able to make up that .26 differential. Just really highlighting how fast Jace Cunning was able to ride in that first run.
Yeah, definitely. I saw no mistakes out of Jace. He was super clean. Gilly was just that good. Unfortunately, not going to be enough to move on into that gold medal round. See some up pump there out of Gilly as well. Magic.
It's all about the up pump out here tonight. Why just pump down when you can pump up?
I'm getting pumped up from this music.
Start pumping down your tires and pumping up those rollers. Isn't that funny? You really get all the pump out of the pushing down on the tires. Yeah, we call them pumping them up, right? I don't know, I never thought about that. Here we go, the gold medal matchup set for the men. It's going to be Josh Jolly, #1 qualifier, the rider who won full tilt earlier today, going up against #6 qualifier Jace Cunning. We just saw Cunning knock out Ryan Gilchrist, who will face off against Niels Bensing in the bronze medal matchup.
Arguably, Jace Cunning has had a bit of a tougher road to get to this gold medal matchup. You see him as the 6th place qualifier earlier today. Sometimes that can work in your advantage in a sport like this where you're needing to build on every run. He's doing exactly that.
And you know what? We're probably going to have some real shakeups in the overall for the pump track series as well. Tohoto Ariki Penny not present here in Cairns. Gilly was sitting in 2nd. Now he still has an opportunity to take 3rd place points in that small final. But right now, we got something to figure out here. Who's going to have the advantage after run one of the bronze medal matchup here for the women? Sasha Mills and Jordy Scott loading up for our first medal round.
Excited to give out some hard work tonight.
We're about there.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Gate drops down.
All right, kids, let's hear it for these riders.
Jordy looking really smooth out of the gate. Sasha Mills strong on that back corner. Jordy is pushing everything right here. The riders come back together, and Sasha Mills really close, keeping her honest. Definitely no easy run right there. Only a .311 disadvantage for Sasha Mills. So definitely capable of making that up. It's not over yet. Jordy's gonna have to stay on her toes for the rest of the night.
Jordy Scott with the advantage. If she's able to hold on to that, she's one run away from grabbing another medal. She took 2nd in the downhill yesterday, 3rd in full tilt today. Now has the advantage in the bronze medal matchup for the women. What will the story be for the men? The bronze medal matchup loaded in the gate right now between Niels Bensing and Ryan Gilchrist. Ryan Gilchrist obviously thinking about defending that King of Crankworx crown, as well as moving up in the rankings in the pump track overall series on the World Tour. He would love to take this bronze medal here, but Niels Bensink is going to do everything within his power to snag it.
Gilchrist knows he has to be absolutely perfect to collect those third place points out here. Bensink is not going to give him anything. These riders coming back together. Oh, and Bensink is pulling down right there.
Well,
it's not over yet.
Tight one. Just 0.07 between these two. The advantage going to Gilchrist. And here's what a really tight race, just 0.07 of a second separating these two. Here's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like Gilchrist had slightly a larger advantage coming out of this turn right here, but Bensink's so good in that turn, catching those backsides almost enough to get past him.
I mean, Bensink manualed that whole final feature. Look at this. All the way through the finish line.
He did.
So don't make sure your front tire is not so high that it doesn't trip the light.
Yeah, that was close. He was about perfect with that.
Yeah. A lot of rainbow stripes out here, and if you're new to tuning into these races and you're wondering what those rainbow stripes mean, that means you are the world champion in this discipline. We've got a couple world champions out here. Ryan Gilchrist is flying those stripes for the men. Sabina Kosarkova flying the stripes for the women. She won that title on a BMX bike. Of course, she got the mountain bike bug at the first stop of the Summer Series this year.
Random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
And there we go, your number 1 and 2 qualifiers, Sabina Kosarkova and Caroline Buchanan on course, run number 1 of the gold medal matchup.
Caroline, the 6-time winner of this discipline, she is not going to give it up. Sabina, the newcomer to this, what has she got coming down this final straight? Oh, and Caroline gets a little bit off balance right there and missed her pump.
0.46 the advantage in favor of Kosarkova over Caroline Buchanan.
Yeah, it looked like Caroline came a little out of rhythm coming out of that back turn, and Sabina was able to take full advantage of that.
Let's take a look back at that final turn, as you were mentioning. Potentially a little bit of speed loss for Buchanan.
Side by side down the opening straight, nothing in it, but look right here. Caroline Buchanan, solid out of the berm, gets in this double, and right there, yeah, just a little front end high, and that threw off her momentum.
A little bit of a tag on that step up, and that takes away so much of your final straightaway drive.
If you mistime that pump by even a centimeter, it completely changes the trajectory of your bike.
I mean, we got steep lips on these things, and if you consider the size of the wheelbase, these transitions are much smaller than the wheelbase, and at those speeds, it's so hard to maintain that precision. Here we go. Gold medal matchup for the men, Cairns. Let's hear it. Josh Jolly going up against a man who has won this event in years past, Jace Cunning.
Jace Cunning absolutely stoked to be in this gold medal matchup. You know he's going to want to give it everything he's got, and there's nobody that wants to win more than Josh Jolly. Make it a double gold medal day.
A couple Australians out here, Cairns. Who are you rooting for?
Watch the gate.
Solid start out of both riders. Their tires look absolutely side by side and even going down the first straight. Josh Jolly and Jace Cunning have been unbelievably strong coming down this back straight, and Jolly has a little bit more coming down to the finish.
Man, that was insane. Both of these riders absolutely flawless. I didn't see any little bobbles. Alan, just 0.15 separating these two.
Yeah, both riders looking absolutely perfect, and Jolly looked like he might have saved a little bit in his back pocket for this gold medal round, absolutely laying down the horsepower on the final straight and across the line.
I mean, we're closest to the lane that Jolly is on right here, so every time he passes me, it blows my mind how anybody can rocket ship out of this right-hand berm that fast. But when I looked up and saw how close Jace was to him, I said, geez, the same exact thing is going on over on the rider's left side. To think that there was only 0.15 separating these two.
Yeah, and like you said, no mistakes giving that advantage to Jolly. Both riders looking perfect, so it's still anybody's race at this point.
So Jolly with the advantage over Cunning. Well, run number 1 of these final medal rounds is under our belt here. One more run to go. We're gonna figure out who's gonna take the bronze for the women, who's gonna take the gold for the women, and the same thing for the men. Lots of hardware to give away here. Just one more run for all these brackets. Stick with us.
I look like a fish. I feel like a fish.
They're all really nice to watch. Definitely our Nemos.
Oh, some Nemos. That's really cool. Yeah, saw a shark swim right under me and almost saw a turtle. Jay saw it.
Round 2, going in.
Sorry, it was epic. It was, I mean, I've lived in Australia my whole life and I haven't seen half the fish and stuff I've seen out there. So it was a super cool experience, and just being up here in North Queensland is always just super unique, so I loved it.
Well, you gotta love seeing our Crankworx World Tour athletes able to enjoy themselves out here and be able to just take in one of the wonders of the world, the Great Barrier Reef, before they strap on the goggles and get down to racing. Love to see them being able to enjoy this beautiful area. We've got Ryan Gilchrist in the background there doing his warm-up routine. Looks like a great series of dance moves. It's obviously effective as well. Seeing how fast he's been able to ride out here. Run number 2 of the bronze medal matchup for the women here. Jordy Scott and Sasha Mills. Jordy with the advantage of .3.
Ready, watch the gate.
So close between all these riders. Jordy getting that hole shot so strong all night out of the gate. Coming down this back straight. This is where Sasha was looking strong earlier today, but can Jordy do what it takes to move on and get this bronze medal? She does come across the line ahead.
There we go. What do you say about that? 3 podiums in 2 days for Jordy Scott. Congratulations, Jordy, taking the bronze medal here at Crankworx Cairns Pump Track.
I wonder if that's a question on the customs form. Are you bringing in multiple gold medals?
You can say, no, just a silver and a couple bronzes so far.
We'll see what she does in the specialized slalom tomorrow night.
Jordy's been boosting that jump all night, and I keep thinking she's gonna lose a ton of speed because she's going straight up, but she's able to kind of just land, coming down from so high into that transition. It seems to be working for her.
Double thumbs up right there. Walking away from the Crankworx pump track with the bronze medal.
Well, who will take the bronze medal for the men? Will it be Ryan Gilchrist or will it be Niels Bensink?
Definitely not as much of an advantage as Gilchrist would want to feel comfortable going into this final round. Just .070.
0.07 of a second separating these riders. Gilchrist with the advantage. Here we go.
Riders ready.
Absolute perfection is what it's going to take. And it looks like Bensink has a slight advantage out of the start. So we see Gilchrist having to catch up already. Bringing it around, gets that triple manual perfect. And there, Gilchrist has the advantage. That triple manual making it work right there.
Gilly does it, grabs the bronze medal. Congratulations there to Ryan Gilchrist. Hard-fought battle there for Niels Bensink, taking that 5th place qualifying position all the way to 4th place position.
Yeah, Gilchrist having to make up some time right there. Bensink had an unbelievable start straight right there. And as he came behind us right here, he gets that triple manual. He gaps up and triple manuals down the backside, getting that momentum. 1, 2, 3. And that momentum is gonna carry them all the way out of this turn into the finish line. Every ounce of momentum you have, you carry it all the way across to the finish.
Right as he was entering that first berm, I heard you say, oh, it looks like Benzik has an advantage. And I swear I saw his eyes as he's facing straight at us going, oh yeah, wait a minute, watch this.
He heard me.
I think so. Well, is it that time, Alan?
Oh, it's that time.
It's that time. We got to figure out who our winners out here at the Crankworx Cairns Pump Track will be.
Big crowd out here tonight. You guys having a good time? I know I am. Some of them are having a good time.
What do you think, Cairns? Who's it going to be out here for the women? Who's going to take that gold medal? Will it be the former queen of Crankworx, Caroline Buchanan? Or will it be the youngster, the up-and-comer, Sabina Kosarkova? Could Sabina be one of our bright new stars on the Crankworx World Tour, who will be battling it out for years for the Queen of Crankworx crown? Will Caroline Buchanan be able to make up this .46? We're moments away from finding out.
It's going to take absolute perfection out of Caroline to make that .461 up, but Sabina cannot leave anything out there. She needs to give it everything she's got.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
That felt like a long time.
It did feel like a long time, but there's Caroline slow playing that start. She builds her momentum through this, really focusing on building that speed. Let's see what she can have coming out of this back turn, but Sabina has that advantage, and then Caroline pulls right alongside. Sabina able to accelerate up and over that final obstacle. Unbelievable.
Sabina Kosarkova does it. Let's hear it for her, Cairns. A gold medal. Second one of the day as she posts the fastest time of the day. Sabina Kosarkova.
Saving the best for last. That is exactly how you win the pump track event out here at Crankworx.
Caroline Buchanan grabbing that silver medal. You gotta love to see it. A look back at this run, Alan.
Yeah, Sabina nailed that start, getting her tires exactly where she needed to on the transition, using that and carrying that momentum all the way through. And Caroline came out of this turn right here, and I thought she had it. Because once you're building speed out of there, usually that comes all the way across the finish line. No mistakes out of Caroline right there, but Sabina was able to up pump all the way up and over that triple step up and down, and somehow was able to get a whole bike length by the time she got to the finish line.
Sabina, congratulations. What a day for you. 2 gold medals. Which one was harder? Was it full tilt or was it pump track?
Thank you so much. I think it was full tilt because it was a new discipline. But also at the end, like, I was super tired, so pump track was challenging as well.
What's it like being in the gate against Caroline Buchanan, a rider who, you know, has done it all when it comes to the Crankworx World Tour, and you're right up against her going for that gold medal? What was that like?
It's crazy. When I was younger, I looked up to her when she was racing BMX, so now it's here and I'm racing to her, so super happy.
Hey, congratulations. This has been so fun to watch you today. Are we gonna see you out there for slalom tomorrow?
Thank you. Yeah, you're definitely gonna see me.
All right, that's what we like to hear. All right, thank you so much and congratulations, Sabina Kosarkova.
Thank you.
Such a cool time in Crankworx history right now. We have heroes racing against people that looked up to them when they were just little kids. So awesome to see. But
Sabina came into the race today leading the pump track series overall. She extends that lead now. Jordy Scott able to maintain that second position, which is where she started the day. But Caroline Buchanan wasn't sitting in third place in the overall earlier today, so she's climbing that ladder as well. Congratulations there to Caroline grabbing that silver medal. Oh my goodness, Alan.
Oh yeah, I can feel it.
What do we have going on right now?
This is a gold medal matchup right here. Jace Cunning and Josh Jolly.
Gold medal matchup. If it's a gold medal matchup, you gotta get louder, Cairns. Let me hear ya. Josh Jolly, the man who took first place in full tilt earlier today. He's the #1 qualifier for pump track. He's going up against a former winner right here in Cairns, Jace Cunning. Josh Jolly with the advantage of .15 over Cunning. What will the story be?
Both riders absolutely laser focused. This start is so important. No chains on these bikes, so all the momentum starts here.
Here we go. 0.15 separating these riders. Can Josh Jolly hold on?
It looked like Josh Jolly maybe a slightest advantage, but Jace Cunning's been so strong in the second half of this course. Riders are side by side. And here comes Jace Cunning down to the finish. Did you see that? Acceleration.
0.17. No way. Jace Cunning comes from behind and does it. Gold medal for Jace Cunning. Wow!
Jace Cunning able to do what he's been doing all day long and accelerating down the back straight. Josh Jolly, unfortunately not going to get that second gold medal today, but man, what a race.
No way! Jace Cunning, the number 6 qualifier, peaks at the right time there, making up a 0.15 in the gold medal matchup against the number 1 qualifier.
Finally.
That was not what I expected to have happen, but for those of you who voted in our poll, that's exactly what you wanted to see.
It is. If it teaches you anything, you cannot expect anything in the Pump Track Challenge.
Come on! Statistically speaking, smart money had to be on Josh Jolly.
And Josh Jolly had about a wheel bike length coming out of that gate right there.
What happened? We're gonna see.
Jace Cunning is what happened. So much power, so much precision from here on throughout the rest of the course, all the way to the finish. Look at how he just jumps up right there. And he's able, oh, it looks like Jolly maybe hung up a slight, maybe even an inch off on that pump.
It would be great to see that again from a different angle, wouldn't it?
It doesn't take much. It's so close. These riders are racing so intense.
Yeah, I like to see the smile there on the face of Josh Jolly, though. He knows that was a great race. He gave it his all. Well, Josh Jolly with a golden full tilt, a silver here in Pump Track, and Jace Cunning making it happen for himself, grabbing that gold.
As you mentioned, the number 6 qualifier, you wouldn't have written him to be the gold medal out here tonight, but he did not hesitate.
I'm hoping we're going to throw a headset on Jace Cunning. I want to ask him how qualies went for him.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see any mistakes. I was watching some of the qualies, but you know, that's how it is. It's that event that you're building, and that's what he did best today.
Sounds like he's got a headset on. Hey, Jace, first of all, I just need to congratulate you for taking the win here, coming from behind. I got to thank you for putting on such a great show. Our crowd out here loved it. I know the crowd at home was on the edge of their seat, but I got to know that number 6 qualifying, you're the fastest rider out here today. You posted the fastest time right there in that last run. Did you have any mistakes in your seating runs?
Not really. I just tend to thrive under pressure, and in seating, I basically just want to get through it. I don't want to like crash or make a stupid mistake and end up at the back of the field. So when it comes to seating, I'm not usually very good at it. I think like last year here, I seated like 9th or 10th or something. So there was no big mistakes. I was just trying to be conservative and build throughout the night.
Well, if you thrive under pressure, then you definitely put yourself in comfortable territory out there. It was really fun watching you claw from behind. You've taken the win out here before. How good does it feel to get back on the top step of that podium here at Cairns Pump Track?
Yeah, this one feels really good. I've been so busy at home coaching and haven't done a lot of riding or training, so to be mixing it with Josh and Ryan and that feels super good. At the start of the day, I said to Bass before, I was like, I don't even think I'm going to get into the night show, let alone be in the gold medal matchup, so to actually win it is so sick. When I was on the gate, I was like, I'm just going to do this for the people that helped me get here. My car broke down on the way. People offered to fly me up. People drove their car up and stuff, and I'm borrowing people's cars from home. So thank you to all them people, and this one's for you guys.
So the come from behind victory, there's more to that story. It didn't just happen on the racetrack. It's been a long road to get there. Hey, congratulations. It's really cool to see you back on top of that podium.
Thank you. It feels good to be able to talk to you guys again.
Yeah, buddy. Congrats.
Thank you.
Look at that. He didn't even think he was going to make it into the broadcast show. And he gets all the way to the gold medal matchup and comes back from a 0.15, was it?
He came back from a broken down car. He almost didn't even make it here.
Look at this. After everything was said and done, though, he was just 0.016 ahead. He just squeezed out in front.
So unbelievably tight. You heard what we said right there, the fastest run of the day. He did that. He was able to save it for the end, and he needed every ounce of that win.
Well, speaking of winners, it sounds like we have the winner for our Darko giveaway. Is it Riley MTB 123? Riley, MTB 52. You're the proud winner of this Darko pack right here. You got some items in this bag that aren't even released until June 18th. Some gravity knee pads, a gravity vest protector, also some jorts and a riding shirt. Congratulations, Riley. Well earned. Maybe not as hard to win that as it was to win this pump track race. We saw some riders really give it their all out here today, Alan.
Yeah, what a night. I mean, I'm the worst at picking favorites, but that might have been one of my favorite pump tracks. We're right here in the thick of it. The riders were unbelievably close all night long. This might be one of the better tracks that I've seen. What a night.
Big day out here. We had Full Tilt to start things off. We just finished off the evening with pump track, but we have a big day for you tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be stop number 2 of the Crankworx Slopestyle World Championship Series. That's going to be morning time local here in Australia. We will finish up the day with dual slalom. Thank you for joining us at the Crankworx Cairns pump track. We will see you tomorrow.